So today is October 27th, 2021. This is the Harry Thomas Show. The websites are located at harrythomas.info, harrythomasshow.com, harrythomas.xyz, harrythomas.site, and harrythomasshow.info. And more to come. But anyway, I don't know if this is going to be a YouTube show or a shoot show. It depends on what I talk about. If end up getting into anything that corporate media wants to censor, it won't be on YouTube because that's what Google owns. And what I found here was a very interesting story about Google platform uh, owned Facebook, America on Fire, Facebook Watch, as Trump ignited hate. And I've been talking about this false left-right paradigm, this divide and conquer that they've all been setting up on us to get us against each other. Um, left against right, white against black, anything you can, based on religion, economics, your point of view on anything. And they get everybody drummed up against each other. And I see these stories like this, they're all compliant with the media. And it says here reports of hateful and violent Facebook chatter here, or started pouring out on the night of May 28th last year, as soon as then President Donald Trump sent a warning on social media that looters in Minneapolis would be shot. Now this goes back to when, what I've been saying here, when all that stuff with Derek. Well, I hadn't even talked about it until now anyway, but it was this guy, Derek, what was his name? Siobhan, where in Minneapolis, where the cop kneeled onto his neck and killed the guy, and he said he couldn't breathe. And then there was a lot of media attention brought to several cases to where police abuses, and I've always spoken out against police abuse. I think it's an epidemic. I think they militarized the police force. We went from officer friendly to SWAT. And we need to get back to protect and serve your community, not beat and infiltrate your community and be provocateurs and all this stuff. But this is another way that they separate us, is they create these false fronts. This Antifa or Antifa or whatever they are. Like I said, I'm not left or right. I'm not for this organization or that organization. I think they're all frauds. And I think this story is a fraud. Facebook didn't watch while any of this stuff was going on. Facebook is behind all this stuff that's going on. It's a CIA front. That's what I've been trying to tell you people since it came out. They're all CIA fronts. Google was a CIA front. That's why Google goggled it up. The Google goggles goggle everything up, and they censor everything. But this Facebook story, this is going to be a YouTube thing, because I'm not getting in anything that they're going to censor. I'm going to use their own media to this is a Microsoft story. This is on Microsoft Start or whatever. I don't know who wrote this story in particular. It's mainstream crap is what it is. It's a mainstream crap story, and they're trying to drum up the business against Americans. And this is the race war one. This card is what they're playing here, because they kneeled on the neck there of George Floyd, and that's what it was. That Derek Chauvin, and they were up and down showing all the discontent that they rightfully had a right to do. I remember they were in every neighborhood. They went right up my street. that summer, and we were all locked down during COVID. And I'm telling you, this thing is all psyops. Psyops. I mean, they only allow the people really a controlled dissent. You know, we're domesticated animals to these people. Okay, there was rules. There's always these rules in these protests and all this. It doesn't matter where you're at. They were up in Canada trying to drum up the business and got caught. They get caught a lot of times. They get caught. They were trying to drum up the business during this it was the Black Lives Matter stuff is what this was. They were trying to drum up the business, and they couldn't get people to go for it. And I was applauding it because I was like, look at this. These people are breaking windows, trying to get them to loot and set things on fire. And these are regular people in the neighborhood are saying, what are you doing? I'm not going to go forward with this. You know, and then in other big cities like in Seattle and probably LA and the usual big metropolitan areas, of course, all it takes is, like I said before, a few dozen uh, federal provocateurs to get uh, these things going. You know, and they do it on both sides of the aisle. It doesn't matter. Like I said, I'm not for Antifa, and I'm not for these, um, whatever they call these conservative magnas and QAnoners and these skinheads, or I don't know, man. This is a division. Mainstream America is not like this. We get along. We can get along and fight these madmen. And the media printing these stories, you journalists that you what are you doing? Trying to drum up a civil war? You're trying to pit us against each other whatever way you can. Said protests taking over Minnesota's largest city would spread across America, and it did. And they're trying to make it seem like they put this guy from some sitcom or what was it, a reality show. He's a businessman. He hangs around with elitists. I don't even know who this guy is. And then you get these people like in QAnon going, "Oh, John Durham's going to come save the planet like Superman or something." You know, Trump's gonna, yeah, he's gonna stand up to the New World Order. I don't even think Trump knows exactly the full scheme of the whole damn thing. I don't trust any of these people anyway. I don't even know if this camera's working if while I'm reading this article. So we'll see if this video even gets out. But it says these thugs are dishonoring the memory of George Floyd. I won't let it happen. Trump wrote on his Twitter page. You know, and you know, this bumbling idiot. I never liked what Trump was saying anyway. But Trump is Trump, man. He was standing up to China. He was like a big presence of a man, ugly as hell with his bad hairdo, orange skin. I I'm not, but he was standing up to some tyrants around the world. You know, let's get that straight. I mean, that's one thing I noticed, but the way this is being thing, you know, first of all, the former president, he was suspended from Twitter and Facebook. Look at censorship right there. Look at how many senators and congressmen and look at presidents and stuff are censored off of Twitter and Facebook. I mean, there is no limit of who they can kick off. This is how powerful these corporations are that I'm talking to you on and talking to you about. Exercising my freedom of speech. I'm in the hospital. I want to try to wrap this up. But leaked Facebook documents, these Facebook papers, supposedly, that I've been telling you are fraud, are they're here to drum up the business about hate speech. They're going to lock down the internet. They're going to censor us some more. I can see this right now. When people look back at the role Facebook played, uh, see, they want to change the name of Facebook, the image of Facebook. They want to change the controls, the algorithms of Facebook, the role that in your mind of Facebook plays in your life. And this is what we're seeing here. This has nothing to do with anything but pitting us against each other. Social media rival Twitter, meanwhile, responded quickly that covering Trump's tweet with warning and prohibiting users from sharing it any further. Facebook's internal discussions were revealed in disclosures made to Securities and Exchange Commissions. Responded to Congress, and they're making this whole Congress thing. It's an attack on free speech, is what it is. It's an attack on our Constitution and our republic, is what it is. I mean, let's get it straight. Let's call it for what it is. These people are very powerful people. You know how they said the banks were um, they were untouchable. People were thinking, oh, the you can't let them fail. They're untouchable, right? Think about that, man. The president's untouchable. These when no, he ain't. Google and Facebook and YouTube and that and Twitter, they're untouchable. They're the ones that are putting these senators and congressmen and presidents censored. You guys supposed to have elected them, right? But they're not even untouchable. Nobody is to these New World Order minions. So what was this? Donald Trump had 61 million followers here. It shows this picture of, but whatever. I mean, don't fall for this. And that whole big thing about the Bible in front of the church where General Milley was there and how it was supposed to be separation of church and state. See what I'm saying? It's always something to divide us. We're not that far separated, America. We are not that far separated. Don't let these planted CIA stories from Project Mockingbird uh, buy your attention at all, but they've been in your mind for so many decades that this is how they're getting away with it. People always ask me, how are they getting away with it? This is how they're getting away with it. You can't read the news. You have to decipher the news. See, it says here internal findings also raised questions about public statements Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg made last year as he defended the decision to leave Trump's post untouched. They fight amongst themselves like professional wrestlers, but they get paid by the same bankers and the same special interest. May 29th, for example, Zuckerberg said that the company looked closely to see if Trump's words broke any of its policies and concluded that it did not. Zuckerberg also said that it left the post because it warned people of Trump's plan to deploy troops. Why is Facebook's um, monitoring so closely people's posts? Why is it their role anyway to decide whether or not the post should be up to deploy troops? I mean, isn't that somebody else's business besides Mark Zuckerberg? I mean, think about that. And the role that Google and Facebook is now playing in our lives and in our world and in our geopolitics, apparently. I mean, think about, like, really? Really? Look at this twerp. I don't know what Mark did in his college days to get himself so far compromised, but he's really a very small part of any piece of this story. I don't even know what part of my face you were looking at when I was reading that story, but very small piece of that story. See, what's happening here is the demolition of America, the demolition, the wipeout of the middle class, the complete destruction of our republic and our sovereignty as a nation, one nation under God. We're heading into world government. They're dividing and conquering us, and we're allowing it by letting them plant these stories of division to divide us, the American people. and letting them prey on our heartstrings and our emotions. We're getting all emotional about this stuff. We're joining these organizations in mass numbers and joining the cause when it's freaking globalists and internationalists that are setting these stages up for us. Shakespeare said life's all stage, man. We're just players in it. And these globalists are setting up these stages, and we're just jumping up on the platforms and doing their dance, baby. And they're dividing us. And they're conquering us pretty bad. So we need to get together with unity so we can conquer these devilish, sinister, diabolical creatures that they are. Because together we will make a difference. Thank you for listening. Go to the website, harrythomas.info. Been doing a lot of work over there. Got a lot of info out for free. Got uncensored code words. I can't even say it. We're just going up on YouTube. Thank you, YouTube listeners, and thank you, everybody else. Share this far and wide because information should be free.